Sorry about that. All right. What's happening, fresh baked? It's 4:00 on a Monday. That means we're live streaming. Talking about what's news and newsworthy at Disneyland and really any theme park in the United States or anywhere else that you guys want to talk about. Today's topic will be holidays at theme parks and whether or not they're going to happen. And I asked that question because we were in downtown Disney this morning, filming the first day of Halloween merchandise at World of Disney, which is now the most exciting thing we can do. Now, I mean, imagine dinner at New Orleans Jazz Kitchen, at Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen, and Halloween merchandise at World of Disney and downtown Disney a year ago were just segments of a larger show that we do or did every week. And now they're features. Those are features of our show. Like, we made a whole episode about Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen and a whole episode about Halloween merchandise at World of Disney. We didn't even get to see it all either. There's stuff left over that we're going to have to go catch tomorrow. So today, so that kind of made me think, well, by the way, I'm wearing my 2018 Disneyland Halloween shirt. Hope you guys enjoy. So today I just want to have that conversation about whether or not should there be holidays at theme parks this year, and two, will there be? Like, is there still? I mean, even if the park's open, would they have a holiday event? And then make a case for that they should. But honestly, I mean, there's not much argument against it. I don't know what the argument would be against it, but you gotta. Okay. Now I'm distracted. But before we get into that, let's talk. I want to run down some news items because some interesting stuff is happening. Kind of in addition to the Halloween or the holiday stuff. It was just reported today that Shanghai is going from 30% capacity to 50% capacity. And that is just music to my ears. That is great news for anybody looking to see, for things to catch up with, for parks to get back to normal, because it all started with Shanghai. And so I think that in a lot of ways things have gone as Shanghai has gone, except for California. But that's what that tells me is that they like how things have been operating, that they feel comfortable with the guidelines that are in place, people minding the guidelines, people's response to those guidelines, and they feel more comfortable saying, okay, now let's just turn it up a little bit. We're turning up a little bit and see what happens. Somebody said Tokyo is still closed, which that's true, but I think there's a whole different thing happening with Tokyo that I'm not sure if we can apply the same logic to from Shanghai to Tokyo. Let me check some comments. Shanghai has way more extreme measures taken than we can do here. Not really, you guys. Honestly, not really. Every park has been doing the same thing. Every park. Wear a mask, 6 feet, hand sanitizing stations, social distancing, both in the queues and in the rides. There's not much more you can do. What else do you want them to do? Well, you're going to limit things where there's crowds gathering, right? So live shows are pretty much not going to happen, and no character meet and greets. These are things that every park is doing it the same way. So I don't think that Shanghai is doing anything differently as far as that goes as they are doing anywhere else in any theme park, let alone a Disney theme park. And also, I don't think that the argument that that the Chinese culture is any more compliant than United States people are. China's in the middle of a social revolution, so they know how to say no. They know how to talk out of turn and do all that stuff just like anybody else does. They're not sitting there just being told what to do. China is fighting back in a lot of ways. So I don't think that argument holds very much. There is that one thing. Jarhead Blow 9 says to go to Shanghai, you have to have a special app from the government. That is one thing. I will give them that. That they have the basically the government knows if you're healthy or not. There's an app on your phone, and your phone can tell if you're within a certain whatever. I don't know how it works exactly, but that will never happen here in the United States. Promises. Yeah, a recent negative COVID test. But as far as anything else, I mean, barring that, which is still, I mean, it's something, but barring that, what's happening inside the parks is exactly the same. Okay. Oh, yeah, let me see. Comments. Disney Adventure Vlog says, hey, David, I heard that Disneyland was testing the tram route music. Is it because we have to walk the tram route once Disneyland reopens? Yes, I think I forget who it was. I think it was WDW News Today was reporting that they had put in a new music, a new loop, or new speakers. I'm sorry, they put in a new sound system along the tram route, which is curious because the first thing that I had heard was that there was going to be no tram, that everybody walked it in from Mickey and Friends. You would go down the new path that they created, that we watched them build, which was, oh man. I was at the park today and I drove by the new path from Mickey and Friends with the bridge and all that. And it made my heart, it's like, God, I want to just do that walk again. I want to be able to report on that thing again or whatever. But anyway, that everybody would walk it in from that path and then through downtown Disney, that there would be no tram. So I don't know if they're necessarily, I don't think there's any correlation to that. Is it true that they've already started to refurb Splash at DLR? Heather, I would like for you to go talk to the person that told you that and then just go ahead and give them one backside up the No, of course not. It's going to be years before they start working on Splash Mountain, before they even start. They don't even have plans. They don't even have plans and specs. They're not going to do anything to Splash Mountain for a few years at least. So that person, don't trust that person, okay? Because they're just talking. Whoever you heard that from. They have plans. They have a concept art, but they don't have actual specs. Okay. The will do, she says. Yeah, I mentioned, okay, Halloween merchandise launched today. We were there to film that. And that video is going to probably be published about an hour or so, maybe after this live stream. And that's really exciting for me. It's super exciting because to me, it signifies part of just the things going forward. You just have to keep, my personal mantra in life has always been just keep going. It's a little bit kind of like Dory, I guess, but I was saying it before Dory did, but I don't want to. Anyway, I'm not trying to copy that is all I'm saying. But I just, no matter what happens to me, I just keep my head down and I keep going. And there's really no point in worrying about the past or, just all you can do is keep moving forward and keep acting as though everything is going to be okay. And then hopefully everything is okay. Halloween merchandise at World of Disney is symbolic for me in that it shows that the ball keeps moving, that the progress keeps happening. Meet the Robinsons, yeah. So that was encouraging for me. Although, like I said, they didn't have all the merchandise out today, but we're going to probably go back tomorrow. And then, okay, so here's another item. Six Flags made an announcement today. Six Flags said that they are going to do a Halloween season this year at some parks. No mazes, no haunted houses, just scare zones. Basically, what they're going to do during the day, they're going to have, it's going to be like a Disneyland Halloween with, family-friendly scary shows, and then, trick-or-treat trails. And then at night, they start doing the scare zones with, the fog machines and the characters and the actors trying to scare you at a social distance. Which, by the way, that doesn't seem to be a problem. They really shouldn't be getting up on you anyway. It's not like they were ever touching you. Certain areas will get to have a Halloween party, a scary party, at Six Flags parks scattered throughout the United States. Not in California, though. Really, any state where the Six Flags park is already not, where the Six Flags park is not already open. So we won't be getting one at Magic Mountain. But they're the first and only, as far as I know, the only theme park chain to actually go for it, to go for a Halloween party, or like a scare party. Let me scroll back. Let's see. What about Halloween decor around the parks? This is from Ellie. Assuming Disneyland will be open in the fall. I'd like that, even just Main Street. You know what? We're going to get to that, Ellie. I probably should have read the whole thing before I read it out loud. We're going to talk about that as we get through this news cycle. Keep moving forward. That's right. Am I still feeling good about my September prediction? No, not really. No, not really. Considering where are we at now? No reservations until the 5th now, is it? The 5th of September? Trader Sam's will reopen when the Disneyland Hotel does. Okay, so, but that is encouraging that Six Flags is going to give it a shot. And I don't see why not. I don't know why Knott's can't do it, or Universal. Just do scare zones. Just do scare zones. I know it's not the same. It's not the same as having mazes or haunted mansions, or haunted houses, I should say. But we would go. We went to Knott's just for food. I would go to Knott's just to get scared a little. I would pay $25 for that, right? So why not? I don't know. I go ahead and put your, the guys in the hockey masks and chainsaws and, do that thing. I hope it works, is what I'm saying. I hope it works at Six Flags. I want that to. I'm not a big Six Flags fan, but I do want them to succeed here. I do. All right, here's a interesting item that came up today. Florida has revealed some statistics, and the state of Florida is saying that tourism is down 60% for Q2 overall, just in general, any kind of tourism, be that interstate or from other countries. As a matter of fact, so it total 60%. International travel is down 90%, which kind of reinforces the idea that we're talking about, that basically nobody's coming in. And that is the core of Disney World's business, is interstate travelers. 90% interstate tourism is down. 90%. That's significant. That's a lot. But I mean, it's not like, we didn't see that coming, right? But it does make me worried for Disney World a little bit. And then finally, we might have a construction update coming this week. So I'm just letting you know about that. There's some images that I can look at and evaluate, and we can talk about construction at Disneyland. And there's actually some interesting stuff that can be observed. So stay tuned later this week, maybe tomorrow or maybe Wednesday, for a possible construction update. And that's it on the news item, on the blotter, as it were. So let's talk about the holidays at Disneyland, or really any theme park. Paging Mr. Morrow says, if Six Flags brings back the creepy dancing old man from the commercials. I remember that guy. He was awesome. He was awesome. So Bob Cuthbertson actually just says, he's just voiced the exact same that I'm thinking. Yeah, absolutely, they should have holidays. I think that we've earned it. I think we deserve it. I don't care if they lose money putting it up. I think they should do it anyway. Just put up the decorations, put up the big fat pumpkin, put up some orange and purple bunting, for Halloween. Put up the pumpkins, do all that stuff, do it. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's not like it's a huge expense, I don't think. And then maybe you evolve your entertainment offerings, to eliminate things that wouldn't comply with social distance. But you know what? I just want to feel it. That's all I want. I don't necessarily need all the stuff. I just want to know that it's Halloween when I go into the park. I want to see the oranges and I want to see the pumpkins, and I want to feel it. I want to feel like it's Halloween, and I don't think that that's asking a lot at all. Now, the first thing obviously that we have to do is get the park open, but if we were to extend that conversation over to Walt Disney World, now I don't get as much information about Walt Disney World as I should or could, but maybe you guys can tell me what are you hearing about Halloween at Disney World in Florida? What are they doing? Because as far as I know, Florida, what I'm hearing is that Florida's pretty much, it's just like it always has. It's not any different than it used to be. Let me look at some comments. That was a woman? No kidding. Okay. Disney World, there we go. Disney World announced, this is from Jarhead Blonian. Disney World announced they were decorating for the holidays. That's great. That's, that's all I asked for, is just to decorate. Let's see. There should be no reason not to have any holidays. Everybody knows to be safe, keep distance, dedicated picture locations for the pumpkin and Christmas tree, et cetera, et cetera. Well, you'd think so, MC. You'd think so. But a person, as I'm fond of saying, a person is smart, but people, not so much. A group of people, you're always going to have just a couple people that are just going to ruin it for everybody because they don't care. Or they think it doesn't apply to them, or they're just oblivious to the rules and whatnot. I was at Downtown Disney today, and there was a gentleman and two kids, like 8-year-old kids, both of them, masks under their nose, in Downtown Disney. I get it that you don't believe, that masks are helping you or helping me. I get it if that's what you believe. I have no problem with you having your own opinion on that. But those are the rules at Downtown Disney. That's the rules of entry. If you want to play, you got to pay. And so it bothers me a little bit to see that. It bothers me that people think that they can. This is private property. Disneyland and Disney. Downtown Disney, Disney World, all these places are private property, and they can make whatever rules they want. Just like if you want to go into, McDonald's, and you have to wear shoes and a shirt, right? No shoes, no shirt, no service. They are allowed to have that rule, and you can't go in there, bare-chested and barefoot. They will kick you out. Same thing as masks. I know, I understand that there's a whole other argument to that, but the philosophy that you need to get your head around is that is the rule. Okay, so luckily it's not a lot. It's just that it's one or two people. But just to answer MC's statement, people know, yes, but maybe not every single person. So I am a little worried. So there are things that you can't do. You can't do the picture in front of the pumpkin. I don't think that would be a thing that could happen. They might. Matter of fact, that might even kill the pumpkin, because people want to take you put a pumpkin out there, they're going to want to take their picture with it. Whether or not there's a photo pass guy there to do it or not, they would have, maybe you could just do a quick selfie, a walking selfie, and then you keep going. That probably might work. And then you'd have a cast member just saying, hey, keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm going to check for comments. Brian Morrison says individuals can always help enforce rules around them politely. I see it happen at shops where the public police themselves. Yeah, I'm on the fence on that. I'm not sure where I'm at on that right now. If I'm bold enough to start, because I just know I'm going to get some response that the guy's going to give me some, jerk response, and then I'm going to have to then I'm going to have to back down, because I'm not going to get heated over it. If you just, I play the tapes in my head, I'm going to say the thing, and then he's going to say the thing, and then I'm going to have to say the thing, and then he's going to say the thing, and before you know it, we're having an argument. And I'm really not in the mood or in the spirit of having an argument with a stranger at Disneyland with my kid there. So I don't know if I can do that or not. Kevin Lewis, I'm not a fan of the mask, but the rules say I must wear a mask. That's what I do. I wear the mask so that everyone can open. Exactly. If you want these things to open, put the mask on. Let's see. They could have a fast pass reservation for the pumpkin photo. I don't know how that works. There would still be people congregating. They wouldn't have the first clue. This is that group of people I was talking about before who are oblivious, not through their own intention, who are just, they don't know that you need a fast pass to take a picture of the pumpkin, and they're just going to stop in front of the pumpkin and take a picture. And then you got to have a cast member telling them to get the hell on. And then they're going to well, I can't take a picture with the pumpkin. I'm just going to real quick. I'm good. That's just an invitation for drama. You're just asking for drama in a situation like that. So it may be that you have to just remove the problem, and the problem is the pumpkin. Sarah Humphrey, it seems like Downtown Disney is good at managing lines. I don't see why they couldn't manage having a line to take pictures safely. It's just a different thing. It's a different thing. You would have a queue of people on the street. And I don't know if you want that, because it's going to mingle with the rest of the, I don't know, that would be hard to do. Let's see. Okay. Why can't they virtually queue for a photo? Again, it's the same thing. You can have a virtual queue, but there's still going to be an immediate queue of the 5 or 6 or 10, whatever people who are next. Downtown World of Disney has a virtual queue, but then there's also a physical queue outside the store. You get called in, and then you get put into the physical queue, the actual queue. There is no 100% virtual queue of anything. There's always a virtual queue and then a physical queue. The virtual queue just shortens the physical queue. Let's see. They can gate the pumpkin off like they do with the Easter Bunny, and see, everybody's got the Heard a rumor Disney can possibly open after Labor Day. Yeah, I've heard that rumor also, but it has not been backed up by any other rumor. Let me just say that. I've heard the same thing from a couple people, but I don't know how realistic or real that rumor is, especially considering Labor Day is coming right up. I mean, it's not around, it's just around the corner. Matter of fact, it may not, even if they were to announce today that that the parks can open, Disney still needs 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know what day is Labor Day. Anybody? What day is Labor Day? Yeah, BD says people will probably try to take their masks off for just 1 second while taking a pic with the pumpkin. This is something that I've been very conscious of when I'm filming or taking pictures at the park, is that I always take my pictures and I always film with my mask on, even if I'm in an area or a place that maybe I don't need it. It's well secluded and there's nobody around. Because I think we need to normalize. We need to normalize doing that kind of thing with our masks on, taking selfies with our mask on. You shouldn't be taking your mask off for anything other than eating, drinking, or going into one of the rest zones. September 7th is Labor Day. Yeah, it's already too late. It's already too late for Labor Day. Let's see. Yeah, they would have to have the announcement today, which I don't think they're going to do. Now, there was obviously that discussion that we reported on last week about how the state is talking about how or if they can open the parks up, but I think we're still a ways off. There's no plan. Okay, so what? Halloween. Okay, so you have to take out the pumpkin. The meet and greet things. Well, there already are no meet and greets at the parks today, so you don't have to worry about that. Disney doesn't do scare events, but really we don't have to limit this to Disney. But yeah, Knott's Berry Farm. I was a bit disappointed. I was actually surprised that they canceled Scary Farm, and I'm not sure what their reasoning was. If it was because they couldn't do the mazes, or if it was because they had, a limit to the size of the park that they could work with, or if they didn't have, the staff to handle an event like that, because they've been cutting back. All the parks have been cutting back big time on staff. So it's possible that they felt like they couldn't put on a good enough show with the staff that they had on hand after having maybe laid off or furloughed a bunch of employees. So it could be a combination of those things, but I feel like at minimum, just like we heard from somebody who said at Walt Disney World that they put the decorations up at least. So there's that. Now I don't know. We got Taste of Knott's coming up this weekend, and I think that's going to run for a couple weeks at least. That'll take us into September. I wonder what Knott's plans are after September. Is it nothing? Are they really going to do nothing? Because I feel like Knott's has been ahead in some ways than everybody else, at least in California. Let's check some comments. What is the 4-week buffer you were talking about? Okay, so Disney, everything is on pause, right? The only thing that's happening right now is construction, but otherwise they're doing routine maintenance on the ride vehicles and horticulture. But frontline cast members have not had anything to do. They're not doing anything. The cast members that interact with you and me, they need to be trained on all the COVID guidelines. They need to get trained on, all the new talking points, because it's just a different job today. Being a cast member at Disneyland isn't the same as it was, 5 months ago. So this is the number I've heard, is that Disney needs or wants 3 to 4 weeks to get the cast members ramped up on guidelines, to get the park. I really do actually feel like the park is already ready. I think they've already got the markers on the ground and the plexiglass where they need it, and that kind of thing. I feel like they've gotten all the sanitizing stations. I feel like they've got that already. But it's just getting the cast members up to speed, and actually getting the cast members just to show up. They got to make sure that all the cast members who they want to show up or need to show up do show up. There is going to be a shortage of cast members, not because Disney laid them off, but because they quit. They're choosing not to come back. Now, Disney may actually have or may need to lay people off in the future if business keeps getting worse. But at present, it is my basic understanding that there aren't enough cast members to staff both parks. They would either have to do a whole bunch of hiring, which they're not going to do, they're not going to hire anybody until they know they can open the park. So that's another reason why you need, a month or so before they can open the park, in case they need to recruit new cast members. But this is also one of the rumor that I'm hearing or I've heard is that when Disneyland does reopen, DCA will not also reopen. It'll be just Disneyland. And that is because they have to pull cast members from DCA and staff them at Disneyland, because a bunch of the Disneyland cast members are choosing not to come back when it's that time. Okay. Read some more comments. Makes sense to do one park at a time. Oh, wait, I missed some. Christina K says she went to Ed Sugar and Passion Island. This place is awesome, isn't it? Meyer Vision, Taste of Halloween and Knott's. I mean, why not? Why not, right? I think I saw somebody ask me what my mug is. It's a 50th anniversary Halloween mug. I can't hold it with the thing out, but it's from last year, when we did the 50th thing. Taste of Halloween, just candy, just bags of candy. All right. Kerry Valdez says, I don't think there will be any holiday decorations this year, Halloween or Christmas. It invites too many people to stand around. Well, the pumpkin, yeah, I would agree with that. But the decorations you put up on the building, like on Main Street, I don't think there's any reason why you can't put that stuff up there. And it makes me wonder if they're going to be able to put, oh God, can you imagine? Oh, can you imagine a Christmas at Disneyland on Main Street with no Christmas tree? I don't even want to think about that. Guys, get it together. Get it together so that we can have a Christmas tree on Main Street in December. Get it together. Okay? I don't ask for much. Just do your part. Jeez. So we can all, you can go be rebellious somewhere else. Go be rebellious at Trader Joe's, okay? Go be rebellious at Sprouts. Start a fight there, but don't bring that to Disneyland. Okay, let's see. I bet, Quarantine Adventures. There really needs to be a channel called that. Well, I guess there is. Quarantine Adventures says, I bet Knott's holds a fall food festival. Yeah, I think they, that'd be cool. A fall, yeah. Oh, pumpkins and all kinds of stuff. Let's see. They used to put trees in the moat in front of the castle. Did they really? That's wild. turn the Matterhorn into a big. Why haven't they done that? Why haven't they turned the Matterhorn into a big old Christmas tree? I mean, you don't have to make it a tree, but you could wrap lights and tinsel around it. Just enormous, giant lights and tinsel. I wonder what the the old school diehards would say about the OGs, the naturalists. I wonder what they would say about that. Mr. Smallworld says, standing on Main Street at night when they release the snow and play Christmas music. See, again, that's one of those things that people stand around over. I don't know, man. I don't know. Evan Layton, this is in response to Orange Grove. Disney has been doing things right with the Walt Disney World opening, and it has worked for keeping things from spreading. I have to agree with that. From as best as I can tell, things have been going well at Disney World. And from what I'm hearing, I think it's actually busier than people have been talking about or letting on, that we're only seeing the slow days stuff, and that there is actually some things happening at Walt Disney World that they're doing a little better. Same thing for Universal, and Universal's been doing well in terms of managing guidelines. So I just hope that we can do the same here at Disneyland soon. They haven't put the star on top of the Matterhorn in a long time now. I missed that too. Wow, 560 people here today, guys. Wow, that's a good day. That's our top. That's the highest I've ever seen for one of these live streams since we started these. That's pretty cool. Thanks, guys. Just thanks for showing up. Why don't you like the video while you're at it too? I think now that you're here. And while you're here, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. That way you get the notifications. You got to turn the notification on, hit the little bell. Hit the bell, subscribe to Fresh Baked Presents, subscribe to Fresh Baked, our main channel, the Fresh Baked proper, as I like to call it. Where we do trip reports from the park. We do other news items there. And then you can subscribe to our third channel, World Dorks, which is me and my wife's personal vlog, where we do stuff that is completely non-Disney related, like eating tacos and going shopping. It's fun. And then if you want to help support Fresh Baked, we have a Patreon campaign, patreon.com/freshbaked. You can support us there, or on our Thursday night live streams, which we do on the main channel every Thursday night at 7 p.m. That's Fresh Baked proper. Links on the main page. If you click home, there's links, Fresh Baked, Royal Dorks, and a few other things that we recommend as well. So got that out of the way. Thanks to the 573 of you who are here and for enjoying this conversation and participating. My hat's off to you. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? Oh, yeah, and Sarah Meyer says, don't forget Fresh Baked Acoustic Channel. I did that yesterday and had so much fun. The Acoustic Channel is where we do, I haven't figured out a way to properly describe or explain what that is, the Choose Your Own Adventure. But if you were a person who's at least remotely near my age, you know what a Choose Your Adventure book is. Well, we've got something like that at the Disneyland Tours. It's called Disneyland Tours, Acoustic Disneyland. And you can sort of just plot your way through the park as if you were really there. Every ride, every restaurant, every gift shop, it's all there. You can visit them all. Okay. Nicholas Miller, predictions on Nightmare Overlay for Haunted Mansion this year. There will be none. I'm against, since we haven't had our original mansion. No, there's no chance. There's no chance that they would, because they just got done taking it down. They're not going to put it back up again. There's no way. No chance. 100%. No Nightmare if they open during the fall. Sarah Munoz says, really enjoy the new lives. Great interactions. I appreciate that. I like talking to you guys for an hour. It's fun. Okay, so let's see. How is Liz and Sophia? They are both very beautiful. Go check out Royal Dorks. There's more stuff. I'm putting up a really cool video on Royal Dorks soon. It's just a bunch of Sophia clips. She did something last night. It's going to make you cry. Okay, I mean, in a good way. All right. Evan says he's been doing the Choose Your Own Disney Day off, and well, that makes me happy, Evan. I like to hear that. Let's see. Oh, hey, I didn't even notice Katie and Spencer here. What? Hi, Katie. Hi, Spence. Well, I don't know who's here, which one, but Best Life and Beyond here. And Katie and/or Spence said Disney already proved that they will. It's safer than some major retailers that have already been allowed to open. Yeah, I've been saying that all along. I'd rather go to Disneyland than Target. I would 100% rather go to Disneyland than Walmart. Walmart scares the crap out of me. I do not like going to Walmart. Spence is here. Cool. Quarantine Adventure says he will riot over no Haunted Mansion holiday. Well, I'm sorry to report that that's probably not going to happen. I'm sorry to say. There's just no, it makes no sense. It makes no sense for them to do that. You got to hit up Walmart at 7 a.m. Yeah, okay, I work, so I can't. I'm sorry. I wish I could. But yeah, I'll take Target over Walmart any day. Okay, so so let's talk about Christmas now at Disneyland. And let's think about the things that, how do we make Christmas work? Because I think the default, unfortunately, and this is why we kind of are having this conversation, because I think the default is no holiday. I think the default is to limit that kind of thing for a while. But I think like somebody said, they're going to put up Halloween decorations at Disney World. So I think we're going to get at least that. We can get the bunting and some, garland, on Main Street, and you can decorate the lamps and, I don't know, but what you can't do, you can put lights up, obviously. But I have a feeling, and this really makes me sad, I have a feeling you can't put a tree up. I don't think you can put up a tree on, at least not a tree at Town Square on Main Street, at the end of Main Street. Likewise, I don't think you can do the snow. You can't do the snow on Main Street. You can't do the snow like the snow they did last year on Rivers of America. That was so good. The snow at Rivers of America was one of the most amazing experiences that I can remember having at the park in recent years. But it's an excuse for people to stop and actually wait, because they're not only are they going to stop, but they're going to stand there and do nothing while they wait, because they want to be there. They want to be present. And I don't know if you can, I don't know how you keep people socially distanced in those situations. Okay. PDXer says Disneyland will go big, but they have, I don't know if that's so or go, but they have to do some light. They can't have the crowd demand. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of demand for Disneyland, you guys. I think there's going to be a lot of demand. It actually kind of worries me sometimes. I mean, the demand that we saw at Walt Disney World initially was less than they expected, but I think things are picking up because they've kind of normalized going to theme parks. It's been long enough. It's been, a couple months now? July something when they opened? July 14th? A couple months. It's been a month. Has it really only been a month? God, it's only been a month. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even sound right at all. But I think people are getting used to the idea of going to theme parks. Look at Shanghai. Shanghai is going from 30 to 50%. Sarah Munoz says, I think I might be an all or nothing person. I don't want a half-baked Halloween or Christmas. Well, you're not going to get all of it. I can promise you that. You won't get it all. I know it sucks. And this is why attendance is less than they were expecting. Because there is a very large, there's people who want to go to Disneyland, but won't because they're afraid. They're just not there yet. They're not in that headspace that they feel safe out in a public place like that. They manage for those, and I've said this myself, for those who say, well, if you can go to Target and Walmart, you should be able to go to Disneyland. That's true in terms of if you're just looking at it scientifically. But there's an emotional component to this that few people give enough credit to. Me, for example, when this first happened back in March or April or whatever, I was terrified of going to the grocery store. I would almost hold my breath while I was there the whole time, and everything. I was just like, "Who's coming at me?" And I just don't. I'm just gonna grab this thing real quick and put it in my cart and get out of here. And it was nerve-wracking, so much anxiety. And I mean, I've grown and I've gotten used to things, and I've learned how to protect myself, wash my hands, and do all these things, and I've made that part of my normal life. And I've also educated myself on what puts you more at risk versus other things based on the science, and I guess assuming that some people are right, some of those scientists. But a lot of people haven't gotten to that place. And I don't blame them for that. I don't blame people for being scared because they have been scaring us. The news is scary. So you have every right and reason to feel scared. And I feel like, hitting people over the head like, hey, just get out there and do whatever, whatever. We're all cut different, man. We're all cut different. We all react and do things differently. And we're not all going to fit in the same bucket. That's why we have to give patience and practice peace and kindness to one another, because you have to be willing to understand what somebody else might be going through. It's not the same thing that you're going through. Your experience is different than mine over the same exact thing. And it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. There is no right or wrong. People just feel differently. I don't know why I got on a rant like this right now, just now, but I feel like I have to put that out there every now and then. That's kind of what I do, because I want to fill people's heads with the idea of being kind and patient. I don't think there's enough of that. And even if there is enough, there needs to be more of it. So just putting that out there. Okay, let me check up on some comments. Evan says, I have a feeling making reservations are going to be part of the experience for a long time to come. This is something that I had predicted a while back, Evan, that the Flex Pass was going to become the pass. And everything would become a Flex Pass, basically, because they've pretty much, with the reservation system, they've pretty much removed any reason to have the premium pass, or whatever they call it, the select. I don't know, the one that I have. There's really no reason for me to have that. If you're going to make me make a reservation, even if I have that one, then it's moot. And I think the Flex Pass will become the pass of the future, and then we'll only have the Flex Pass or the pass that says you can. Well, they'll all be Flex Passes, just with more blackout dates, I guess. But because the Flex Pass right now, there's just the one kind, and the Flex Pass has no blackouts, I think, except for those 2 weeks in Christmas. Green Tea Drinker, I think DCA will open before Disneyland because of the wide open spaces. Well, I mean, that's a logical point, Green Tea, but it's not. It's going to be the opposite. Either they're going to open both at the same time, or they're going to open only Disneyland, because if you don't have enough staff to open both parks, then you only have enough staff to open one park. And I promise you, Green Tea Drinker, I promise you, people want Disneyland, not DCA. More. Okay, some people really love DCA. That's fine. But there's just no way they're going to open DCA and not open Disneyland if they only have enough staff for one park. Regina Layton, are there enough of us who feel safe to make opening worthwhile? Well, I think that's proven true in the parks that are open. Disney World and Universal, the overseas parks, they're operating, and there's enough of us who have overcome whatever those hurdles are that we have to overcome in order to feel comfortable and safe going to a park. So while Disneyland's not going to be operating at full capacity and just, printing money, they can still make a go of it. They can still be a successful operation. Ian Tillman, the Disney parks are the safest place on earth. I agree. Well, except for in your own home. Laramie on a Loose says, at Target and Walmart, I'm not touching the lap bars and sitting in seats that people have spit on while riding. Well, see, that's a mind thing in part of, at least for me anyway. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about touches anymore. That doesn't bother me so much. I mean, there is the immediate threat of touching a thing and then touching your face or whatever. There is that immediate threat, but I have trained myself, and I think all of us could do well to do that, to touch it after I've touched a thing, to not touch my face, and then to wash constantly and to sanitize constantly. I can control that. I can control how much of that gets into me, because it's you don't just get it by touching a thing. You have to get it. You have to touch it, and then you have to transmit it into your system. It doesn't seep into your skin, naturally. Second, what I'm learning is that is a very low risk thing. There is some risk. There is some in terms of, getting the virus through touch. But what we're learning is it's mostly airborne, that it's mostly, through aerosols in the air, and you inhale them. So I'm not worried about that as much. But again, I totally understand and respect people who are still afraid of that. And because I still try to limit what I do as well. But it kind of, you have to just kind of work your way around that a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, how's Vegas doing? Zero Stargazer says it's like Vegas right now. We're only partially running and tourism is declining. I wonder, is Vegas, because they've been open for a few weeks now too. How are they doing? Are they getting by? Is the experience of doing those slot machines? Well, I guess the slot machines with plexiglass the same. I guess it would be. Orange Grove 55 says I spent way too much money on DoorDash. I'm DoorDash in our house. I go out and get everything because just like you, I'm like, I'm not paying $8 more, $10 or whatever. It's a ripoff. DoorDash is a ripoff. And did you hear that? The actual restaurants are getting very little. They hardly make anything on those deals, because most the DoorDash and the Uber Eats, they're charging a premium to pick up and deliver. I don't like that. I don't like that when the creators don't get to keep their money, the thing that they made, and they don't get to keep it. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let's see. Checking some more comments. We got 5 minutes to go, guys. So get your questions in. Elements integrated. You can always wash your hands. Always. Yes. Always. You don't have to put your hands on your face. Vegas sucks right now. Okay, that's what Heather Peterson says. Vegas sucks right now. I'm sorry to hear that. Anybody else have any Vegas opinions for me? Let's see. No, but Maria Orloff is making shrimp tacos, so that's pretty cool. Jolene Townsend, CDC months ago identified that touch transmission is near zero. I would like to see a link to that. I don't. I mean, I know it's less than we thought, but I'd like to near zero. I would like to see the science on that, the math. Yeah, Regina Layton says, much of how we get through this is coming to an understanding of what we can control and what we can't, or what we know and don't know. And that's a large part of it, is that people are refusing to, they just want to believe what they believe, and they don't. It's hard because it's an emotional thing. And sometimes the emotional aspects of it outweigh the logic and the science. And that's just human nature. That's just how it is sometimes. But it does help if you can sort of distance yourself from the hysteria of it and then try to learn and apply some critical thinking. It has really helped me a lot. But I'm a logical person by nature. I'm a mathematical guy, so it comes easier to me than it does some others. But it helps a lot. The more you know, the better you feel. My anxiety has been reduced quite a bit when it comes to the virus than it used to be. Today I'm more worried. My anxiety is just about, not having enough time today to do all the things that I want to do. Laura M says, I've been to Vegas pretty recently and it was good. I missed the buffets. Oh, I miss buffets. But I heard that you can point and they'll put it on a plate, right? That's good. We can still do that because I'll take that. Let's see. Christine Segura says, yes, Vegas is terrible. No one wears masks and everyone is angry. Well, that's Vegas. Vegas is an angry town. I don't like to go to Vegas. Well, I should say what keeps me from going to Vegas more than I want to normally, because it's a fun town. There's lots of fun things to do. I like to, go to buffets and get drunk and play, slot machines and things like that and see shows. Sure, I like all that. But what gets me is depressing. Vegas can be depressing because people are there just losing money all over the place. They're just losing, and it's kind of there's a lot of desperation, and it kind of stinks. Kiki Hasselbad says, science seems to be falling on deaf ears in America. The more science, true news you read, the more you will learn how to save. Well, yeah, see, the problem with that is that we've got so much lying going on, Kiki, that it's hard to tell the truth from the not truth. Because so often we'll hear a thing and then somebody else will say the exact opposite. And they'll try to say that it's based on statistics or fact or science or whatever. Because you can twist, that kind of data any way you want sometimes, and, or use data that's favorable to your argument and ignore the data that isn't. I don't know. I would imagine that's the same everywhere, right? Or do they not do that in Sweden? Because we get that day and night here in the United States. I mean, you cannot trust anything, especially on social media. Social media will lie to you. Social media will lie to you all day. All right. Well, we got just a minute to go. And Katie was going to close it out with saying that it's either going to be a medical ending or a social ending to this. A social end may come first. Neither one of those sound very optimistic. Laramie on the Loose says, apparently 99% of the people in this small town, Texas, that I live in all believe that masks are useless because most people don't wear masks. That's what I'm talking about. And they're going to give you some kind of math that's going to back it up. The masks are useless math. And I'm just like, what do you even say? You can't show them the science because they don't care. They don't care to believe. They don't want to believe because they'd rather just stay in their mindset. sometimes you really have to get, you have to take emotion out of it. It's hard to do. So I don't know. Well, guys, it is 5 o'clock. What a fun day. This was certainly less anxious for me than our last one. There was a lot of, I gotta keep, sometimes we gotta be careful what we talk about, because you guys can get mean and nasty in the comments, man. But this was good. I had a good talk with you guys today. I still have hope for parks opening in time for one of the seasons, maybe two, who knows. And I do think that we should or could get at least decorations for that season. And yeah, I think that's reasonable. Okay, guys, as always, don't forget to leave a comment on your way out about whatever, about holidays in the parks, about my fat face, or anything else that I've talked about in this stream. Don't forget to like the video on your way out if you haven't already, and to subscribe to all those channels that we talked about, the Royal Dorks, Fresh Baked. Follow us on Twitter, Fresh Baked Disney. That's fresh with no E. And I love you guys. Even if you don't want to wear a mask, I still love you. And I'm going to wear my mask to keep you safe. I'm just saying that because I care. Okay? I'm going to keep my mask. I love you guys. We'll see you next time. Respect.